If you've ever made a budget and followed it for maybe 2 weeks and then completely fallen off, I want you to know that's not a discipline problem. And it's not because you haven't found the right app or the right spreadsheet or the right system, because most budgeting advice is trying to solve a human problem with a mechanical solution. And it just doesn't work. Because money isn't just about math. That would be so much easier. It's about behavior, it's about emotion, it's about identity, it's about the nervous system. And until we include those pieces, no system is going to stick. So let's talk about why budgeting keeps not working, even for really smart, capable people. Most budgets are built on this idea that if you just plan well enough, you'll follow the plan. But that assumes that you're the same person on the first of the month as you are on a random Tuesday night when you're overwhelmed, you're tired, and you just want something to feel easier. And you're not the same person. None of us are. So what happens is you create this idealized, clean version of your financial life, and then real life shows up. You're stressed, you're running late, something unexpected happens, or honestly, you just want to buy something. And suddenly the budget feels restrictive or irrelevant or like something you have to push against in order to live your actual life. That's where budgets break. Budgeting focuses on numbers, but personal finance is mostly emotion. And emotion changes based on stress, energy, and a million life events. So even the best budgeting systems won't work if they ignore the feeling side. And when they inevitably break down, that sets off the cycle. You go a little off budget, then a little more. Then you feel like you messed it all up. So you stop tracking, you avoid looking, and now it's not just about the money. Now it's about guilt. That's the part most systems completely ignore, the feeling part. What's interesting is that right now, more people than ever are actually trying to budget. There are more tools, more automation, more awareness, but the emotional experience hasn't improved because tools can organize your money, but they can't regulate your responses to it. So instead of asking, how do I stick to my budget? I want to offer a different question. What would it look like to build my relationship with money in a way that actually supports me in real life? The way I approach this is through three layers: regulation, awareness, and structure. Most people skip the first two and go straight to structure, trying to force a new budget like it's a glass slipper. If you could just make it fit, it will change your whole life. That's why it doesn't stick. The order matters. Regulation is about your nervous system. Can you actually be with your money without shutting down, without avoiding it or reacting impulsively? Because if the answer is no, no system is going to work consistently. This can look really simple. Before you check your bank account, pause, notice your body. Are you tense? Are you holding your breath? Are you bracing? That awareness alone changes how you engage. Then we move into the awareness, not tracking from a place of control, but from a place of curiosity. What's actually happening with my money? Where is it going? What patterns do I see? Not this is bad or this is wrong, just this is what's real. And then after those two, we build structure. But the structure isn't rigid, it's responsive. It reflects your actual life, not an idealized version of it. So instead of a budget that says you can only spend this much, we start asking, what matters to me? What do I want my money to support? And then we align spending with that. So, in a real moment, let's say you're out and you're deciding whether to grab a cup of coffee at a coffee shop. The old question is, can I afford this? Or maybe just putting your head down and buying it. The new question is this aligned with what I actually want right now? What my values are and what I want in my life? Sometimes the answer is yes. If buying that cup of coffee supports your values of supporting local businesses, or maybe you are having coffee with friends and this supports your goal to spend more time in community. So you spend fully without having to justify or feeling guilt about it. Sometimes the answer is no. Maybe putting money towards the household or money to spend on a class you really want to do on the weekend is more important to you. And then you don't without feeling deprived because you know that you are using your money for something that's more in alignment with what you want to do. That's a completely different experience. That's real money management. The goal isn't perfect adherence. It's a relationship where your decisions feel grounded, intentional, and sustainable, where you're not swinging between restriction and overspending, never feeling stable in your financial life. A relationship where your money starts to feel like something you're in conversation with, not something you're constantly trying to control. So if budgeting hasn't worked for you before, it might not be because you need a better system. It might be because you need a more human one. You're not trying to control your money. You're learning how to work with yourself. And when you start there, everything else gets a lot easier.